My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the B.Ed second semester subject content and pedagogy of mathematics education at secondary stage as prescribed by Osmania University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 5 first important short question is: differentiate between formative and summative assessment. Formative versus summative assessment. Formative assessment is a type of assessment done during the learning process to check students' understanding and give feedback for improvement. It is like a practice test that helps students and teachers identify mistakes early. Example: a teacher gives a quick quiz or asks questions while teaching fractions to see if students understand. Summative assessment is conducted at the end of a lesson, term, or course to measure what students have learned overall. It is like a final exam that shows the final achievement level. Example: an end-of-term mathematics exam evaluates students' total learning for the semester. Feature formative assessment, summative assessment. When done during teaching, after teaching. Purpose: to improve learning, to judge overall performance. Feedback: quick and regular, given at the end. Example: class quiz, homework, final exam, board exam. Easy tip: think of formative assessment as a health checkup, ongoing care, and summative as a final report card, final result. Next important short question is: 2. What is portfolio management in mathematics assessment? Portfolio management in mathematics assessment. Portfolio management in mathematics assessment means collecting and organizing a student's work over time to show their learning progress, skills, and achievements. It is like a folder or file that has evidence of what a student has learned and how they improved. A portfolio can include homework assignments, class tests or quizzes, math project reports, drawings of graphs or geometry work, self-reflections, what the student learned. Example: a teacher creates a portfolio for Ramesh with his unit test marks, solved math puzzles, and geometry diagrams. At the end of the term, the teacher uses it to discuss Ramesh's strengths, like problem solving, and areas to improve, like algebra. Why it's useful? Shows the student's overall growth and not just final marks. Helps teachers, parents, and students track progress. Encourages students to take ownership of learning. Easy tip: think of it as a math learning photo album. It captures every step of learning, not just one moment. Next important short question is: 3. Define 360 degrees assessment. A 360 degrees assessment is a way of evaluating a student's learning and skills from all directions, not just by the teacher but also by classmates, parents, and even self-assessment. It gives a complete picture of a student's growth in academics, behavior, and teamwork. In this method, feedback comes from teachers about understanding of topics, peers, classmates about teamwork and communication, parents about learning habits at home. Self-assessment: the student reflects on their own strengths and weaknesses. Example: if a student named Asha is learning geometry, the teacher checks her test scores, classmates give feedback on her group project, parents share about her homework habits, and she self-evaluates. Together, this shows her overall development, not just marks. Why it's useful? Gives a well-rounded view of a student's skills. Helps students improve communication, confidence, and teamwork. Encourages a growth mindset. Easy tip: Think of it like taking a selfie from every angle to see the whole picture of learning. Next important short question is: 4. Mention any 2 advantages of school-based assessment. 2 advantages of school-based assessment, SBA. 1. Continuous and stress-free evaluation. School-based assessment happens regularly in school through class tests, projects, and activities. It reduces the pressure of one big exam and helps teachers track a student's progress step by step. Example: instead of waiting for a final maths exam, the teacher checks a student's understanding of algebra through weekly quizzes and group activities. This makes learning easier and less stressful. 2. Focus on overall development. SBA does not only check book knowledge but also evaluates skills like teamwork, creativity, and problem solving. Example: in a geometry lesson, a student is graded on drawing diagrams neatly, explaining concepts, and working well with peers. Why it's useful? Encourages students to learn regularly. Teachers can give timely help if a student is weak in a topic. Builds confidence as students are evaluated in a familiar environment. Think of SBA as a daily progress check rather than a one-time pressure test. Next important short question is: 5. What is the significance of a table of specification, TOS? Significance of a table of specification, TOS. A table of specification, TOS, is like a blueprint for making a question paper. It matches the syllabus with the number of questions and their difficulty level. This ensures that the test is fair, balanced, and covers all important topics. Why it's important? 1. Complete syllabus coverage. Teachers plan how many questions come from each chapter. 2. Balanced difficulty. Easy, medium, and hard questions are included in the right proportion. 3. Fair assessment. Students are tested on what they learned, avoiding surprises. Example: in a Class 9 Maths exam, ATOS may state: Algebra, 30%, 3 easy to medium. Geometry, 40% to easy, 3 medium, 1 hard. Statistics, 30% to medium. This ensures every topic is represented properly. Easy tip: think of TOS as a recipe card for question papers. Every ingredient, chapter, is added in the right amount for a perfect exam. Next, Unit 10. Long questions. First important long question is: explain the different strategies for continuous assessment in mathematics. Different strategies for continuous assessment in mathematics. Continuous assessment is a way to check students' learning regularly throughout the year instead of only at the end through exams. It helps teachers identify strengths, weaknesses, and provide timely support. In mathematics, this is important because concepts build step by step, and small gaps can create bigger problems later. 1. Class tests and quizzes. Short tests or quizzes every week or after finishing a topic help track understanding. Example: after teaching algebraic expressions, a quick 5-mark quiz can show if students can simplify expressions. 2. Assignments and homework. Regular assignments encourage practice, which is essential in maths. Example: students can solve real-life problems like calculating GST in shopping bills. 3. Projects and activities. Math projects promote creativity and deeper understanding. Example: a project on symmetry in nature can help students see maths in everyday life. 4. Peer and self-assessment. Students can review their own or their classmates' work. This builds confidence and analytical skills. Example: students check each other's geometry diagrams to spot errors. 5. Oral questioning. Asking questions during class helps the teacher know who is struggling. Example, quick oral questions like what is the value of pi keep students engaged. 6. Observation. Teachers can observe students' problem-solving approaches, group participation, and confidence in explaining answers. 7. Portfolio assessment. A portfolio is a file of a student's work collected over time. It shows growth in skills. Example, collecting worksheets, tests, and projects for each student helps track progress. Why it's important? Continuous assessment makes maths learning stress-free and regular. Instead of one big final exam, students get many chances to improve. It also helps teachers give timely feedback, adapt teaching methods, and motivate students. Think of it like checking your bike brakes regularly. You fix small problems before they become big accidents. Similarly, continuous assessment helps students become confident in mathematics step by step. Next important long question is: 2. Discuss the process of setting a question paper based on TOS. Process of setting a question paper based on TOS. A table of specification, TOS, is like a blueprint for creating a fair and balanced question paper. It helps ensure that the test covers all topics, matches learning objectives, and has a mix of easy, medium, and difficult questions. Here's the step-by-step process. 1. Identify learning objectives. List the skills you want to test: knowledge, understanding, application, and higher-order thinking. Example, for Class 9 Maths, test skills like solving algebra equations, understanding geometry, and applying statistics in real life. 2. List the content areas. Write down all chapters or units from the syllabus. Example, algebra, geometry, mensuration, statistics, probability. 3. Decide weightage. Give each chapter marks according to its importance and teaching time. Example, algebra 30%, geometry 25%, mensuration 20%, statistics 15%, probability 10%. 4. Plan question types and difficulty. Decide how many questions will be easy, medium, and hard. Example, in a 50-mark paper. Easy, 40%, 20 marks. Medium, 40%, 20 marks. Hard, 20%, 10 marks. 5. Prepare the blueprint, TOS table. Topic: easy, medium, hard, total marks. Algebra 5, 10, 0, 15. Geometry 5, 5, 5, 15. Mensuration 5, 5, 0, 10. Statistics 5, 0, 0, 5. Probability 0, 5, 0, 5. 6. Frame questions. Write clear and simple questions based on the TOS. Include diagrams, word problems, and logical reasoning. Tip to remember. Think of TOS like a recipe card. It ensures all ingredients, topics, are added in the right amount. This makes exams fair, balanced, and stress-free for students. Next important long question is: 3. Explain the importance of self and peer assessment in mathematics learning. Importance of self and peer assessment in mathematics learning. Self-assessment means students check their own understanding, while peer assessment means students review each other's work. Both methods help students take ownership of learning rather than depending only on teachers. 1. Builds deeper understanding. When students check their own solutions or review a friend's work, they rethink concepts and spot mistakes. Example, a student solves a geometry problem and later checks if their steps match the correct method. This reflection helps correct misconceptions. 2. Encourages responsibility. Self-assessment teaches students to be honest and responsible about their learning. They learn to set goals and improve. Example, a student rates their own algebra skills as average and decides to practice more equations. 3. Improves communication skills. Peer assessment helps students explain their reasoning and give constructive feedback. This boosts confidence and teamwork. Example, two students exchange solutions to a probability question. One explains a shortcut method, and the other learns a new approach. 4. Increases engagement and confidence. Checking their own or peers' work makes students active participants in learning. This builds confidence as they see progress. Example, a group of students reviews each other's math projects, appreciating creative graphs or clear steps. 5. Promotes critical thinking. To assess correctly, students must think logically and follow mathematical steps carefully. This sharpens problem-solving skills. Method how it helps. Self-assessment reflection, goal setting, self-improvement. Peer assessment collaboration, learning from others. Easy tip to remember. Think of self-assessment as looking in the mirror and peer assessment as getting a friend's review. Both help students grow into confident and independent learners. Next important long question is 4. Discuss the methods of performance assessment with suitable examples. Methods of performance assessment in mathematics. Performance assessment is a method where students show their understanding by performing a task instead of only writing answers. It focuses on practical skills, problem solving, and real-life applications of mathematics. 1. Project work. Projects allow students to explore real-life situations using maths. Example, creating a mini-budget for a school event using concepts of addition, percentages, and graph making. This shows how students can apply maths outside the classroom. 2. Practical activities and lab work. Students perform activities, measure objects, or use tools to solve problems. Example, measuring classroom dimensions and calculating the area and perimeter. This makes maths hands-on and interesting. 3. Problem-solving tasks. Students are given challenging questions or scenarios to solve step by step. Example, solving a Sudoku puzzle or calculating the shortest route between two places using geometry. It improves logical and analytical thinking. 4. Oral presentations or Viva. Students explain concepts or solutions orally, showing concept clarity and communication skills. Example, explaining how to find the slope of a line in front of the class. 5. Portfolios. A portfolio is a collection of a student's assignments, tests, and projects over time. Example, keeping a maths diary with solved problems, charts, and creative ideas. It helps teachers track progress and creativity. 6. Group activities. Students work in teams to solve problems or create models. Example, building a 3D shape model to understand surface area and volume. Method what it shows. Projects and activities application of maths in real life. Problem-solving tasks logical and critical thinking. Portfolios growth over time. Quick tip to remember. Think of performance assessment as show what you know instead of only writing. Students demonstrate skills and understanding. Next important long question is 5. Explain assessment as a feedback mechanism for improving teaching and learning. Assessment as a feedback mechanism for improving teaching and learning. Assessment is not just about giving marks or grades, it is a powerful tool for feedback. It helps both teachers and students understand what has been learned well and what needs improvement. For teachers, assessment acts like a mirror for teachers. By checking students' performance, teachers can identify which topics were well understood, where students are struggling, how they can change their teaching methods. Example, if many students score low on algebra, the teacher knows they should use more real-life examples or visual aids for better understanding. For students, feedback from assessment helps students understand their strengths and weaknesses, learn how to improve their answers, gain confidence by knowing what they are doing right. Example, a student who makes calculation errors gets suggestions to practice step-by-step solving, improving accuracy. Types of feedback through assessment. 1. Immediate feedback, oral feedback during class activities, example, correcting a step while solving a sum. 2. Written feedback, comments on tests or homework, example, revise fractions, great work on diagrams. 3. Self and peer feedback, students review their own or others' work, developing critical thinking. Improving teaching and learning. Teachers modify lesson plans based on results. Students become active learners by using feedback. Builds a positive learning environment where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn. Who gets helped? How feedback helps. Teachers improves teaching strategies, lesson design. Students identifies strengths, improves weak areas. Easy tip to remember. Think of assessment as a GPS for learning. It tells teachers and students where they are, what's wrong, and how to reach the goal.